All right, welcome back, the Genius. So in this section, let's talk about how we can install Python and set up our development environment. Development environment is basically what the tools, all right, the tools that you use to write your program, the tools that you use to write your code, okay? So for those who are not using laptop, if you're using a mobile phone, all right, I'm going to show you how you can write your code and run it on our website. So you will not be installing Python because you cannot install Python on your mobile phone. But for those, even if you're using mobile phone, you still have to take the class and understand it in case whenever you get your laptop, you can install. But for now, if you're using a mobile phone, let me go and show you how you can actually run your code on our website. Okay, so now this is our website. This is how it will look on your mobile phone. Okay, so this is the code editor. All right. Now, this, if you don't like the theme, all right, you can actually change. You can change it to white if you prefer white. All right, you can change it to white. You can just play around with this. Okay, just play around with it. All right. So, but I will take it back to what it was before. All right, so you can actually select Python. There are other languages here. If you want to use JavaScript, any code that you want to write, any language you're writing in. So right now we are writing Python, so select Python. So we have set print hello world. All right, print hello world. That is the code we have here. So if I go on to run this, if I click on run now, all right, this is where the output would come. So you need to scroll down. This is where the output of your code will come. So if I click run, all right. I will expect it here. It's running. Okay. Now look at it. It has printed hello world. So this is where you'll be running your code. You don't need to, you're not going to be installing Python or doing any other thing. This is what you just be doing. Any code that we are running, any code that we are writing, write it here and run it. It would work perfectly fine. Okay. All right. So let me go back to our presentation. So now let's show you how to install on Windows. I'm basically using Windows. I know most of us will be using Windows, but in case you're using Mac OS or Linux or any other operating system, I will still show you how. All right. So first of all, if you're using Windows, you have to go to Python website and download the website and download the Python installer. Okay. So you go and download. Now, depending on when you're watching this, okay, depending on when you're watching this video, you have to download the latest stable version. So if I take you back to my browser, now this is the Python website. All right, python.org, that's the website. So all you have to do is for me, because click on downloads, okay, or as you take over this download, you're going to see download for Windows because it has detected that I'm using Windows. But for you, it will dictate whatever operating system you're using. So if you want to do Mac OS, you can click Mac OS, and then you have to download the most stable one. All right, you have to download the most stable one. So for me, I'm using Windows. If you're using Windows, just click on this button here. Once you click on this button, okay, it will download. For me, I have downloaded it. Okay, I have downloaded it. So after downloading it, just go to the folder. Go to the folder where you downloaded it. You know where the folder where all your downloads come. So for me, I will go to my downloads. I will go to my downloads. All right. I don't know where your own is going to download. You know where your folder is going to download. So I'll go to my download and look at the file here, the installer. So I will double click on it. Okay. But in case you do not know where your downloads always come, see what you can do. If I go back to browser, I will just click on this three dots here. I will go to download. I will select downloads. If I select downloads, you can see I have it here, so I can just click it from here. I'll just double click to open it from here. Okay, it has opened. Oops, multiple times, multiple times. So I clicked it more than once. That's why it's opening multiple times. Okay, so let me open it again. So for me, I have installed it already. All right. So, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to uninstall it so that I can show you how everything works. So I'm going to uninstall it. I will uninstall it and reinstall it again. Okay, so I have uninstalled it, all right? And let's go again let's start from afresh again. So I'll go to my downloads where I have it downloaded. So I will double click on it. Then look at what it's telling me now. It says install now, all right? But before you click on this install now, make sure that you select this add Python to path. All right. I might not have enough time to explain what this thing does. I might not have enough time to explain it because I don't want this to be too long. But if you want to know, all right, if you want to know, just chat me up on WhatsApp, okay? Reach out to us, reach out to whoever that is your personal coach, all right? Reach out to the person and ask for explanation of this. So I'm not going to explain it now, but just make sure you select it so that it will add it to the path. So I will click on install now. Okay, it will start installing. And in case as you're installing this, if you find anything confusing or you meet any error, always reach out to us so that we can also guide you. Okay, because there are a couple of things that might make you not succeed in installing it. So it is installing everything that it needs to install for me. Okay, so I have successfully installed it back. So you can see setup was successful, all right? So after doing this, all you have to do is to close it, all right? So once you close it, now let's follow the instructions we have there. Say run the downloaded ESC, that's what we have done. And we have click on add path, Python to path before clicking install now. That's what we have done. Then after that, you open your command prompt. How do you open your command prompt? Just click on your Windows that button, click on Windows button, then type in CMD, all right? Either CMD or you type prompt, anyone. So click on command prompt. Then if you want to know if this thing has been installed successfully, just type in Python here, -- version, all right? And you can see it's telling us that we have Python 3.13.2. All right, so we have Python running now. So if I say Python now, if I just say Python now, so this is the Python interpreter. So I can say 2 plus 3, and Python will tell me it is 5. I can say 8 times 9, and Python will tell me 72. So, but don't worry, we are going to talk about this interpreter in a separate session. But what it means now is that we have Python installed. All right, so we can now write Python code on this machine. So if you successfully got here, congratulations. But if you didn't, please reach out to who is your personal coach so that they can guide you. All right, so we have our Python running now. So now this is how you check for Python version, Python -- that version. This is how you ensure that you have installed Python. So if Python is installed correctly, it will display the version. That is what we have just done. Okay. And for Mac OS, I did not use Mac OS, but just follow the instructions here. The recommended way is to install it using Homebrew. All right. So open your terminal and run. All right. I'm not going to display this because I do not use Mac. All right. So just type in on your terminal, just type in brew install Python. All right. Once you do that, it will install it for you. Then for you to verify installation, you have to, you just have to type Python 3 -- that version. All right. And if you're not using Homebrew, just go on to the Python website and download it and run the installer the way we have done it with. But make sure that if you're downloading Python, you're downloading it for Mac OS. I downloaded for Windows, so you have to download for Mac OS, okay? Now, if you're using Linux, Ubuntu, or Debian, all right, follow these steps. Open your terminal, type in sudo apt update. sudo apt install Python 3, then verify installation by typing Python 3 version, and that is it. So how do you run your Python code? All right, we have already seen how to run Python code. All right, so I just showed you how to run Python code on our website, but how do you run Python code on your machine? Now, let me show you. I have already shown you already. So open your terminal, all right? So you can create a Python, a script called script.py, but let me show you how we can do this. So what you can do is this, just go to your desktop, create a folder, all right? Create a folder, call it Python. So this is where you'll be writing all your Python scripts, okay? So now, this is what you will do. I want you to, once you open the folder, create a folder on your desktop, call it Python. Then open the folder. Inside of it, click on, right-click and select New. New, create a new text document. But as you're creating a new text document, okay, you have to change the name. Let me just say, let me call this thing scripts. All right, but instead of txt, instead of script.txt, change this txt to py. So make sure that the name of this file is script.py, py. Okay, every Python code is written in file that we call .py. Okay, .py. Okay, so once Python sees any script written in .py, to know that yes, it's a Python code that is in it. So change the name, but it will ask you, are you sure you want to change the name? Say yes. So once you change the name, all right, you can see it. It now has this Python logo here. All right. So open it. All right. It will ask you if you want to open it. Just open it with a notepad. Open it with a notepad. All right. Open it with a notepad. Let's open. More option. So open with a notepad. All right. Open it with a notepad. Now, it has opened here. So let us write our first Python code. Just type with me. Just say print, just say print in bracket like this, print 2 plus 4. Also print, type again, print. Make sure you type exactly what I'm typing, hello world. Okay, make sure that the hello world is enclosed in double quotes. All right, so save this your file. Once you have saved it, you come back to that your folder. Sorry, go back to your folder, the Python folder that you have opened. Okay, so what you will do is right click inside this folder and open terminal. Oh, just say open it, click open in terminal. Once you click open in terminal, all right, then you will type Python script.py. So what you're saying here is this: you're calling Python and you're saying, Python, I want you to run this script that I have. The name of the script is script.py. And make sure you open this terminal in this part. Make sure you open it in that folder, in that Python folder. If you did not open it in that Python folder, that means you have to provide the full part of this file. But in order not to get you confused, you're still a beginner. In order not to get you confused, make sure you open the folder. Make sure you open this terminal inside that folder. All right. So once you click run now, you can see it printed 6 and hello world for us because our Python code says print 2 plus 4 and also print hello world. So this is your first Python code. Don't worry, as we go on, we are going to be writing more code, but this is the first thing you have told the computer to do for you. You have just told the computer to print 2 plus 4 for you, and you printed it, and the answer is 6, and you also asked it to print hello world. All right. So this is how to run your Python code. So if you do not understand this step, please reach out to us so that we can help you out. So let's go back to our slide. So we have run it on terminal. Make sure, how do you go about this? First of all, make sure that you create a folder on your desktop, call it Python. Then open that folder, all right? Go inside of it, create a test document, call it script, but instead of it being .txt, change it to .py, all right? Then open it with a notepad and just type in that same thing I typed in there. After doing that, you save it. You go back to the Python folder, right-click on it, open the terminal, then type in python script.py and it will run. So another way you can also run your code, you can run is using VS Code. So you will need to go and download VS Code. I already have VS Code installed on my system, but let me show you how you can download VS Code. You will go to VS Code website. You will have to go to VS Code website. Just type VS Code download, all right? So click on download VS Code. All right? Just follow the instructions that you see there. Oops, my network isn't that strong. Okay, so click on, if you're using Windows, click on Windows. All right? If you're using Mac, click on Mac, but just click on this button. If you click on this button, it will start downloading. Okay, but for me, I'm going to cancel this download because, all right, so I'm going to cancel it because I don't want it to download. Yes, so click on it, okay, but make sure you have enough data because, make sure you have enough data. So once it gets downloaded, just open it and then double click it and run the installer. It will download VS Code for you. And for me, let's go back to our slide. So once you're done, all right, you can open, what you will do is this, go back to your Python folder. All right, go back to your Python folder. All right, right click. Okay. When you're installing that VS Code, make sure you select all the checkboxes there. All right, select all the checkboxes there so that it can install it correctly for you. So if you have done that, just come here, right click on inside this folder, click on show more options in case you're using Windows 11. All right, you're going to see open with code. All right, open with code. All right, so but in case you did not see open with code, what you will do is this. All right, right click and open terminal. All right, open terminal. Once you open terminal, just type in this code dot. All right, type this code that to open VS Code for you inside this folder. You can see it has opened it inside our Python folder, and we have this our scripts here. Okay, so that's one way. So make sure when you right click here, if you do not see open with code, all you have to do is open in terminal and type in code space dot. It will open it inside of this folder. So for me, I'm just going to use my regular. Okay, so now I have opened it here. Now, but the first thing you're going to do is, all right, click on this icon here, this extension icon. All right, inside here, type in Python. We want to install extension for Python so that our Python, this Visual Studio Code will work very fine. So you will see Python debugger, you see Python. They are all from Microsoft. All right. For your own, my own, I have installed it. That is why you're not seeing install here. But for your own, you will see install. Just click on that install. This Python to click on install. All right. You will see installed and you see install. For me, just like all these ones, you're seeing install. For my own, I have installed it. That is why you're not seeing this here. So your own, you will see install. Python debugger and Python. Just install the two of them. Once you click on install, it will tell you installing, and once it is done installing, it will let you know. Okay, so I will go back to my files again. So you can see that file that we created here. All right. So if I want to create a new one, I will just click here and I will call it. Look at where I clicked. I clicked on this file, new file. I click on it. or you can right click inside of here and say new file. All right, but you can just click here and say, I'll just call it calculate cal.py. So this is a Python file, and I can just say print 9 plus 5. Oops. Okay, and I will save it. Once you do that, click on run. You can click on this button here, run Python file. You can click on this button. So if I click on this button, it will open this terminal. Just drag this terminal up. Drag it. Look at what I'm doing. Make sure you get it. Drag it up so that you can see. You can see it has printed it out for me as 14. So it's either you click on this I button here, or you click on run. Come here and click on run without debugging. All right. So select Python debugger. And oops, it has run it. But the simplest way is to click on this button here. So make sure after downloading Visual Studio Code, install the extension for Python and also the debugger. All right, then you can now write your code in here. So you can click run or just follow this command in case you're not using Windows. All right, so there's something we call Python linter and formatter. Okay, the linter is whenever you have errors in your code, linter will help you dictate the error. All right. So when you're writing your code, when you're writing your code, if you want to make sure that, oh, this my script is correct, it does not have any errors, linter will help you figure out the errors you have in your code. Then the formatter will help you to format your Python script in a way that is recommended by Python. So you have to install them. So first of all, open your terminal. All right. All right. Type in pip install black. Black is the formatter. All right. Don't worry, as we go on, you're going to understand more what we mean by formatter and linter. Okay, but basically, linter will help you to detect errors. So click on pip install black. Then you click, it will install this for you to run some code. Just make sure you have enough data, all right, and your network is strong. After doing that, you also type in, now for you to format your code, you type in blackscript.py. So just install this one first. Don't run this one yet. I'm going to show you something before you do that. So then you will also type in after the black installs, you type in pip again, install Flake 8. All right. Now let me show you what this thing does. All right. Let's go back to code. I will go back to our Python code. There's this code I already have here. All right. There's something, if you can see, Python will expect you to end this thing with a new line. All right. Don't worry, we are going to come to syntax of Python later on. That will have a separate session. But I'm going to save this thing and look at what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to run. If you don't want, when you're in Visual Studio Code, if you don't want to open your prompt, your command prompt, just come here and click terminal, select new terminal, click new terminal. All right, it will open a terminal for you. So for me, I have installed my linter, the black, and the Flake 8. So what I will do is if I want to check if I have any error on this my file, I will say Flake 8, and I will call hello underscore word dot py. All right. Oh, I got it. I got my hello wrong. Okay. So when I click this, all right, look at what it's telling me. It says on line 15, all right, no new line at the end of file. So if you don't have a new line, don't worry. I don't want to explain this now, but there is an error. What is telling me that this Flake 8, I have said Flake 8, hello. I'm telling this guy, please check my code for me and see if I have any errors. So it has told me that I have some error. It says on line 15, all right, there is a new line is expected. So see, this is line 15, all right. This is the code, the line of this is the line. This is line 15. It says I need, what it's telling me now is that I need to, I need to have a new line at the end of it. But I'm not going to add this new line here. All right. Then I'm going to now run black so that black will format it for me. I will say black, hello world dot py. Do you understand? Of course, our code has some issues, okay? And I don't want to correct it myself. This issue is a matter of formatting. So since I'm having issue of formatting, I have errors there, I need to add a new line. I'm going to now run black, and I'll black on that my file. So black will help me format it. So if I just hit enter, it will format it for me and add a new line for me. So now remember, when we ran flake8 hello world.py, it gave us an error. Now we now run black. Black has formatted it for us. So let's run flake again to see if we get that same error. So if I click on, you can see there's no error again. So we are good. So if you watch, after running black, we now have another line, line 16. Do you understand it? So let me take it back again. We know here, let me take it back again. If I run this flake now, flake will tell me I need to end with a new line. If I run this flake now, it will give us that same error. Do you understand? Now, for me to fix this formatting error, I just want to tell black, please format this for me. I will type in black, all right? So watch, when I hit enter, black will format it and will now have a new line on line 16. Do you understand it now? So this is how it was. Don't worry if you don't understand it. Over time, as you practice, you're going to understand. But I would want you, if you have any confusion, please reach out to me. Reach out to whoever is your personal coach. Reach out to your instructor, okay? So, and this is where we'll end it. Okay, this is where we'll end it. In the next session, we are going to be discussing more details. We want you to understand Python first before we go into running a lot of code, okay? So thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next session.